All right, man. I hope y'all are having an amazing day today. So we're gonna listen to Tupac. Brenda's got a baby. All right, we're gonna listen to the song. I haven't heard it before, and I hope that this is going to be the beginning of me going down the Tupac rabbit hole, listening to a lot of songs that I just did not necessarily hear growing up. I've heard, the popular ones, Hit 'Em Up, Changes, different things like that. But I haven't heard Brenda's Got a Baby, or at least I do not remember it. I don't remember Brenda's Got a Baby. And so I was like, hey, let's go and listen to it. Why not? All right. We're going to get into it, see exactly what's going on. I'm not going to pause, I don't think, as much as I normally do. I'm not exactly sure, but we shall see. I say that, and then me, maybe I pause, maybe I don't. Let's roll it. I want to say one thing. I said I wasn't going to pause, but the way that this is starting out, you can hear the emotion already, bro. Like, I just want to hear that. Like, it just sounds so much different than what I hear nowadays, man. I just want to hear that. Like, it got soul to it.
Brenda's barely got a brain, a damn shame. The girl can hardly spell her name.
That's not our problem, that's up to Brenda's family.
Well, let me show you how it affects our whole community. Now, Brenda really never knew her moms, and her dad was a junkie putting death into his arms. It's sad, cause I bet Brenda doesn't even know. Just cause you're in the ghetto doesn't mean you can't grow. But that's a thought, my own revelation. Do whatever it takes to resist the temptation. Brenda got herself a boyfriend. Her boyfriend was a cousin, now let's watch the joy. And she tried to...
Wait, say what? Say what? Run, reverse.
Got herself a boyfriend. Her boyfriend was a cousin, now let's...
Her boyfriend was a cousin, oh my God. That what that say? Her boyfriend was a cousin, I'm hearing that correct.
Resist the temptation. Brenda got herself a boyfriend. Her boyfriend was a cousin, now let's watch the joy. And she tried to hide her pregnancy from a family who really didn't care to see or give a damn if she went out and had a church of kids. As long as when the check came, they got first dibs.
Hey now, wait a second. I thought I wasn't going to be pausing like that, but I must. I think it's very important for me to pause and just discuss a little bit of what is being said. I think, especially at that time, maybe, I don't know how it is today, but like, especially me growing up, I know people who, if the check was rolling in, whether that was from the government or directly child support check, it was a lot to be said about who was getting that check and using it for what, like, purpose. A lot of times those checks, coming from what entity it may come from, a lot of the times it does not get used on the baby at all. Like, it doesn't get used on the baby. A lot of times that goes to fund somebody else's agenda, whatever it may be, clothes for somebody else, and in today's life, you see things like this happen in a big scale in terms of child support. Now it's like support everybody but the child, which is honestly sad. But, okay. I see exactly why the industry did not necessarily want Tupac to release this song. Too much of a message for them to catch on to at first, but he convinced them otherwise. Shout out to Tupac.
Out and had a church of kids. As long as when the check came, they got first dibs. Now Brenda's belly's getting bigger, but no one seems to notice any change in her figure. She's 12 years old and she's having a baby. In love with the molester who's sexing her crazy. And yeah, and also thinks that'll be with her forever. And dreams of a world with the two of them all together. Whatever. He left her and she had the baby solo. She had it on the bathroom floor and didn't know, so she didn't know what to throw away and what to keep. the baby up and threw him in the trash. I guess he thought she'd get away, wouldn't hear the cries. She didn't realize how much the little baby had her eyes. Now the baby's in the trash, he ballin'. Mama can't help her, but it hurts to hear her calling. Brenda wants to run away. Mama say you're making me lose pay, and social work is here every day. Now Brenda's gotta make her own way. Can't go to a family, they won't let her stay. No money, no babysitter, she couldn't keep a job. She tried to sell crack, but ended up getting robbed. So now what's next? It ain't nothing left to sell. So she sees sex as a way of leaving hell. It's paying the rent, so she really can't complain. Prostitute fam, swing. And Brenda's her name, she's got a baby.
Oh, wait a minute. I wanted to pause so bad, but it was so much to unpack. And it's still so much to be said about this song, bro. It's so much to be said about this song. Like, off the rip. Let's get into it. So, first things first, the cousin thing. I'm gonna go back and talk about the cousin thing. A lot of times, man, these relationships, especially when you're talking about underage, man, you gotta watch these kids. Gotta watch your kids, man, because it's the family members. A lot of times, sad to say, some of these kids' first sexual experiences are with their family members. So unfortunate, but it is the truth. It's something that happens, and it probably still happens to this day. Another thing to talk about, when somebody has a baby at that age and they don't know what to do, the parents are not there, like, being very supportive, because it honestly takes a village to raise a child, right? Isn't that correct? And so on top of that, you got a 12-year-old who doesn't even know the basics of life yet, having a baby. I'm gonna have to look up the story that this is based off on just to give it a read, but this is something that probably happens more often than I think the news or any outlet, talks about, and is extremely sad on a multitude of levels, because trying to support a baby, not having a job, and I think that's where the downfall of a lot of people, like especially young mothers, even young fathers, I think that's where the downfall goes, because you can flip the story for a father. Now he's a drug dealer, and now he's shot and dead because he wanted to sell drugs, or I say needed to sell drugs because he thought that was the only way he could make ends meet for his child. Man, it's sad, for real. Like, it's super sad, and I'm making up for like not pausing because I just took all the information in and talked about it at one time. But it's honestly something that like stands true to this day. I can't believe I haven't heard this song before. All right, let's keep going. Baby. I think that this song is a huge testament to the greatness of Tupac. The man was one of the, if not the greatest storyteller in terms of the way that it was told, how heartfelt it was, however you want to say it. And I honestly believe that some of the songs that were the most controversial of Tupac's is probably the best. This song right here, very short, but like very to the point. You got the imagery, you have the soul, you have a song. and a song that if Tupac would have conformed to the industry would have never been released to the public, at least not while he was alive. You know how it is when a rapper or artist die, all their music in the archives start to come out at that point. And so I think that a story like this, man, it's a story that is told, I want to say way too many times. And when I say that, I'm not saying that you shouldn't bring a light on the story. What I'm saying is the story itself happens too much. You know what I mean? Like, you should always bring attention to what is happening. But I hate that situations like this are happening. I hope I said that correctly and I'm not like twisting my words together here, but it's honestly sad to see a situation like this, and these situations are probably still happening to this day. I guess that's the best way for me to say that. And it shouldn't be that way, but it is. It is. Now, I know some people myself who have had kids at young ages, but it took that person having a great support system. And you see it nowadays, man. The family structure is so broken nowadays, man. It's such a sad thing to see. Being somebody who was lucky enough to grow up in a 2-parent household, man. So many of my friends I know that did not. A lot of them, you know, turned out very successful, but some of them did not turn out as successful. You know what I mean? As much or as successful, I guess I should say. They did not turn out as successful. And, you know, it's I can't come from the perspective of one household family. I don't know. I know what it's like to have trouble inside of the household, but that's a discussion for another day. So let me know your thoughts and opinions, man. I could talk about this for a minute, but I'm not going to. But I think that me going down a Tupac rabbit hole and listening to some songs that I haven't heard before is going to open up a lot of discussions on the channel. And I'm looking forward to having these discussions with you guys. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. I'll see you guys in the next video.